Well, it's the edgy assassin type. I mean, they're all edgy, but it's the edgiest.
Yeah, I guess Calexus would be the ageist. So, by the way, we're live. So, hello, everybody. This is the Ecclesiarch here, back to you with yet another card creation tournament for our edgy boys, the assassins. And of course, we're here with none other than your favorite policeman, Shad. What's up, Shad?
Yeah, not bad, thanks. Just got off work and all that.
Say,
I blue balled you for a few minutes. I do apologize, but I'm here.
nah, we're good. We're good. All's well that ends well, and we are here to deliver some very cool submissions because actually I like these submissions quite a bit. There's interesting different takes on everything. Guys, by the way, if it so happened that I forgot somebody, just make sure you text, all right? So, and I'll double check. But I think I got everybody who sent. So, and hello, Igor. First, as always, I see. Pew, pew, pew. Okay. So, Shad, shall we?
Yeah, by all means. So, you do my card, I do yours, same as usual.
That does well. So let's begin. Let's begin from yours, which is actually Malcador's Gambit. So Malcador's Gambit, first execution force. So energy 10 at the start of your next turn. Put Mshen, Aristodekel, Ganimus, and Calexus Assassin into play. Hello, Transcend. Nice to see you. Ooh. Okay, let me first start off from flavor-wise. I think flavor-wise, this is amazing. I assume this is a reference to Nemesis, where...
Yep, indeed.
Yeah, where they basically got that execution force ready to deal with Horus and ended up mogging Sidere instead, so...
Well, if he's not there, then you murder the next most important thing.
I guess kinda, yeah. As for like what it does, yeah, that's very flavorful. You're basically dropping all those assassins that Malcador sent there, so it was like one of every type, I believe. I think there was also a Venenum assassin, but we don't have any of those in the game, so obviously we wouldn't have that. However, it does put them at the start of your next turn. So my only question, Shad, is it a little bit weak?
Honestly, this is a very old card of mine, so that's probably why the balance is a little bit tuned towards being on the weaker side, yes. Because back then, the game was slower. I mean, basically, you can tell because I haven't quoted the names, because back then, I didn't know that was a rule. And actually, it has been brought to my attention, though, that even EG are not consistent with it, although they do seem to try and quotation mark card names more often than not. So the times they don't are just fuck-ups that they left in the game. EG making errors and mistakes in their formatting? No, who'd have thought it? But, yeah, balance-wise, yeah, it's slow. It's a very slow one. It's kind of sad, really, because even if it, put them into play this turn, it would probably still be too slow for modern Horus Heresy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, for modern legions, yes, but it's more usable because if the opponent doesn't clear it, then he has a big problem next turn.
Yeah, they're pretty much dead if they don't clear it, because that's, 14, 8... That's 20 damage coming at you, assuming he doesn't kill any of the assassins. So, yeah, that'll sting.
Yeah, that'll sting quite a bit. By the way, greetings, Raziel. And, yeah, I would say the only thing is that it's a little bit weak. Otherwise, it's pretty good.
Alas, that's what old cards, that's what happens to them if they don't get buffed. Well, maybe I should have remade and buffed it. Yeah.
I mean, that's fine, because mine is ridiculous anyway, so...
Alright then, well, here we are then. Spear, 10
Hello,
energy,
Ferno.
5/5, a legendary Chaos Infantry, the Black Pariah. Ward and Relentless deal damage to the enemy warlord equal to their missing health. Oof. And Stealth. Wow, okay. So I'm not familiar with this character from the lore. I'm assuming it's a Calexus assassin that went rogue, since it's in the Chaos faction.
I'll tell you what exactly happened there. So there was a Calexus assassin that they decided to experiment on. Then it became a little bit too strong, so they decided to throw it into the sun and kill it. But because it's Warhammer, Erebus finds it and, and basically turns it into a... demon combined with with a Calexus, which is kind of retarded. But the goal of this thing was to kill the Emperor, And it was so strong as a pariah that it could reflect psychic powers. But the only thing that it actually needed was that it had to first take the blood sample of the target. So it first has to take your blood, and then it becomes strong. That's like where the relentless to deal the damage equal to their missing health comes from. As
Right.
if they're damaged, he has the blood, basically.
That makes sense. Yeah, okay, I can see that. Yeah, it's kind of very feast or famine. It'll either kill the opponent or, realistically, by the time you drop a 10 drop, you're going to chunk them for probably around 5 to 10-ish health minimum, I would say. But, yeah. Obviously, stealth is temporary these days. Ward is flavorful. But it's very slow, so I don't know, balance? I don't think it will be a very healthy design, I'll be honest, but I don't think it's broken.
Yeah, it doesn't look like healthy and something you'd love to see, but yeah.
It's neutral though, so there's interesting possibilities here. Yeah, you could do some things with this. Maybe. Good finisher in like a control-y, stealth-enabling combo warlord, so like Corvus Corax or any of the Night Lord warlords that can stall. It has potential.
Yeah,
I get the flavor's quite nice, yeah, although I didn't know the character beforehand.
Here's the fun thing. Make the Relentless into a Rally and a Resolution and you have a Hearthstone card, basically. Or Desperate Defense Rush from Titans, Raziel said, could be pretty nasty. Yeah, there are some combos you can definitely pull. Okay, all right.
I was about to say, just responding to Raziel though, the problem with actually rushing this out is that the effect will be a lot lessened if you rush it out early, because your opponent probably won't be that damaged, so... Like, yeah, you can do that, but kind of plays against its own power there. Anyway.
All right, let's now get to the actual submissions. So, number one is the Eversor Stimulant. Okay, so we got a tactic right away. That is pretty cool. 5 energy, deal 3 damage to a friendly unit, and it gains +1, invulnerable, and bloodthirst until the end of your turn. So basically, you damage your unit, and if it survives, it's a +1 and a bloodthirst. I could see this. So this is a unit. So technically, it's a somewhat better Khorne's Favor in a way, or it could actually also combo with Khorne's Favor for even nastier stuff. Seems like this is something that would mostly be used on warlords, though it is possible to use on units, but I like that it deals 3 damage so that it avoids maybe some extremely ridiculous combos in the early game. What do you think, Shad? It kind of seems about like nice, but I'm fearing it might get some obnoxious interactions.
Yeah, I quite like it. I especially like how the very first actual entry that we have for this tournament is just 40k's version of crack cocaine. But yeah, it's pretty damn cool, honestly. And like you said, the 3 damage helps balance it. You can't really chip in too many early rushdown effects with it. Yes, you can slap it on your warlord, but I mean, we've had Khorne's Favor in the game before. This one is basically old Khorne's Favor, really, and except it can't be abused as much with Act Again effect. Well, I suppose it could actually, yeah, because you could play this and then Orders from Terror. But yeah, I like that it's neutral. I like that you can do interesting things with it. The 3 damage taking effect before the invulnerable means that you can't get too low before you play it, but realistically you're going to make that health back because you would have bashed them anyway. It might be a little strong, and it's definitely going to be a combo piece, so I would say maybe push it to 6 energy, but it's cool, and again, I like it's in neutral because you can do interesting things with that. Yeah, cool card.
Here's what I think. I agree. Yeah. Because, as Raziel pointed out, we don't want it to just be a better Khorne's Favor. But
Khorne's Favor doesn't do that anymore, so it's kind of a different card now. But I get your point, yeah.
As for Eager, it's not Avatar of the 4 because it's until the end of your turn, not next turn. Avatar of the 4 is until your next turn, so it's definitely stronger. Okay, yeah, I'd say good design. Maybe I agree, ramp it up to 6 and it will be fine. Should be good. Oh, look at this, Chad. This is yours.
Alrighty then. Let's see. Despair. 5 energy, 5/5, Chaos Epic Demon. A demon assassin. I don't know this character. I assume this is from the books. But yeah, stealth, Maintenance 1. At the start of each player's turn, add Gaze of Despair to that player's hand. Oh, purples. Alright, let's see. Gaze of Despair. 0 energy, destroy a friendly troop, or deal 5 damage to your warlord. At the end of turn, discard this card. When you do so, destroy a random friendly troop.
Oh.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. So, this is a hard control tool, but you can't necessarily abuse it too much yourself, because it will blow itself up if you don't pay the tax and actually play the Gaze of Despair. This is an acceptable use of purple cards, by the way, because it actually has a very specific functional effect that does require being in the other person's hand. So well done there. Yeah, let's see. Wording-wise, stealth, maintenance 1. The 1 isn't bolded, but it's not a big deal. At the start of each player's turn, and yeah, you've quoted it properly to that player's hand. The wording's good. Destroy friend. Should be at the end of your turn, probably, but it's a minor thing on Gaze of Despair.
So, what do you say?
Yeah, the wording's just a little obtuse on the purple, but it's a very minor thing. It's like it could instead be at the end of this turn, discard this card and destroy a random friendly troop. So you don't need to include when you do so because it's already implied. So if you haven't played it, it will do that effect. Mechanically, it's interesting enough, and what it actually facilitates from a gameplay perspective is pretty cool too, because this is a hard control tool, and those don't really exist in Horus Heresy at the moment, because you play this, your opponent is then left with a difficult choice of either burn themselves for 5 or lose a random troop, and then, yeah, your despair will then survive the turn most likely. If it doesn't, then who cares? That means that you don't get hit with your own drawback. And if it does survive, you get the Gaze of Despair. Oh well, just trade Despair in, and who cares if you are destroying a random troop? As long as you don't have any on board, that is a 0 cost. That doesn't cost you anything. So yeah, pretty damn cool as an idea. It's very like board denial, and I like that.
Exactly, that's what I like about it as well. It's a double-edged sword as well, also works on you. And yeah, honestly, I think the game needs more tools like this, because currently, like, I kind of came back to Legions and it's a clown fest when it comes to aggro. So I'd love to see like less of that and more control. I'm more of a control fan at the end of the day, so you know.
Well, unfortunately, you are but one person against the endless hordes of phone players, so no control for you. No control gameplay.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Only 5-minute pooping sessions.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's all play World Eaters. Anyway, let's move on.
I like to shit when I blood.
Oh
Wait,
my
no.
god. What? What?
Oh, alright. Oh, wait, do I have to deal with the BDSM nun, or is that yours? No, that's yours.
That's
good.
mine.
Okay. Alright, cool.
Okay, you gotta love the art that the person has chosen for it, because holy hell. Oh my god. Okay. Let's stop watching the art and let's discuss. So 4 energy 3/4 legendary stealth, Callidus Assassin. So Callidus Assassin becomes a copy of the last troop that was played. Whenever another troop is played, Callidus Assassin becomes a copy. Oh my god. That is so interesting. Cool. That's very cool, actually. So look at that. Basically what happens is that whenever you play something, you can get like a second copy. For example, let's say you got a cool resolution troop in your hand. You can drop this and then drop that, and then suddenly becomes a copy, which is really cool. And or for example, let's say you play this, and then you drop a Cerberus, for example, let's say like that. You suddenly have 2, right? But the cool thing is, the opponent can also control it. The opponent can also drop things so that this becomes a copy of that. So technically speaking, they also get a say in what happens to this. I think it's a cool card. I think it's a cool card because it has cool interactions, and overall it's fun. Okay, it sounds like a fun card to me. Doesn't seem like too obnoxious either. What do you think, Shad?
It's very cool, but I don't think it will be good, and I think it will be quite easy to make it good, so I will explain a few things
Go
of
on.
my thought process, at least. Okay, so the idea is cool, obviously, the art is spectacular, I don't know where you found that. But yeah, great. The problem with it is one thing is it should specify played from hand, otherwise you're going to have very weird and bad interactions with, like, spawner warlords that can just generate bullshit cultists, what's his name,
Or Payron.
Yeah, that's it. Corpheron, people like that. So it needs to be specified from hand, otherwise strange interactions, and it's not going to work. Secondly, I do believe the stealth would wear off when you transform into another troop, which would enable your opponent to essentially just play a piece of garbage and then trade into it, and then, like, it's just a 4 energy do nothing, basically. Yes, it can sometimes screw your opponent over if they have nothing in hand to play that's low cost, but realistically they often will, which makes it very bad into aggro decks. What it needs, rather than stealth, and I know this seems like a very strange and small distinction, but it needs rally gain stealth. Because that way, that becomes a tacked-on effect that will not disappear when the troop changes. This way, stealth is an inherent part of the card, so therefore, when it changes, it'll become a copy of it, and it will lose the stealth.
Okay.
Yeah. So... Oh, wait, no, hang on. It's actually... No, the wording is more broken than I expected, actually, because it also does not specify that it retains this text. So what will actually happen is it'll change once, and then it will lose the text that says it keeps changing, and it will never change again. So you need to specify that it has Callidus Assassin becomes a copy of the last troop that was played, and gains this ability. Whenever another troop is played, Callidus Assassin becomes a copy of it, or something like that. It's kind of hard to do. So, how does Magic the Gathering word this? Because they have effects like this. I'm gonna have to check it out. What is his name? Lazav. He has abilities like this. MTG. Lazav the Multifarious. Yeah, so it would be something like Lazav becomes a copy of target creature, except its name is Lazav, it's legendary in addition to its other types, and it has this ability. So you need to, like, amend something like that. I can't think off the top of my head exactly how you do it. But the point is it needs to specify that the troop it transforms into retains the Callidus Assassin's ability to continue copying new things, which I believe is your intent.
I think overall it's a very cool design and idea. Just needs fine tuning, just so that we go around the broken wording. Otherwise, I like it. Yeah, it's an awesome idea.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. It's just hard to text out properly. So yeah.
Okay, well, I got the goth mommy, so now you get this guy.
Oh, okay. I get man in latex suit. Okay, I'm happy with this. Sire Vindicare, a legendary Agents of the Sigillite warlord. It is a 130, which is already a very strange stat line for a legendary warlord. He is the Director Primus, so I believe this means the first Vindicare. He has a purple card, the Bell Tolls, which I assume is a sort of reckoning. And Relentless, deal 2 damage to a random enemy troop. If the target dies, gain stealth. And an active ability of 1 energy, deal 3 damage. Wording is all good there. And the next purple is the Bell Tolls. Kill the enemy warlord. Wow. Reduce this card's cost by 1 at the end of your turn if your warlord didn't act. And 25. So you need to basically sit still and do nothing for 15 turns. Which, with such an efficient and powerful active ability, is kind of rough. Also, good job on the filter on that, by the way. I believe that's a shot from Chaos Gate Demon Hunters, but it's been appropriately put through an interesting filter to make it look like actual art. So, yeah. I don't like it. It's a cool idea, very flavorful, but there's just a lot of weird little things going on here. It's like, it's a 130 and a legendary. Those, you can only have one legendary a faction, and they should have a proper reckoning if they are, and they should have 40 health thereabouts, and, the Relentless is very toxic, because it will be constantly stealthing and re-stealthing the Vindicare. Yes, they can play around it, but, I mean, if you're playing a troop deck, which is most decks, you can't. And if you're not playing a troop deck, you're playing a slow, stally control deck. He's gonna headshot you.
God damn it! God damn it!
Yeah.
I just lost. Yeah. I just lost a bet.
Yeah. You thought I'd like it. Raziel is correct. It's kind of unlikely that you'll get the stealth, but it's just kind of... I don't know. It just feels like it would be so unfun to play against, just shooting everything. And the randomness, and like realistically, it's kind of... The mechanics are kind of dull otherwise, and it doesn't interact with seals in any way, so it doesn't feel like it should be an Agents of the Sigillite Warlord. It should be a neutral, probably. Like Callidus Assassin. So overall, I like a lot of the ideas in here, but I don't think they all jam together well into a good warlord that would be fun to play, or play against, or build around.
Okay,
sorry.
So first of all, hey Ozzy, hey Saboteur, nice to see you guys. As for the warlord, I mean, yeah, the ability is. I think the purple card is just like a extra thing. You'll never really relying on that. It's just.
Oh, formatting error detected.
Where?
There's no initiative.
Oh, god damn
it. I always find something.
Chad, you know where we have more than one legendary faction?
Yeah.
Do you know where we have it? More than one legendary faction?
What, legendary warlords?
Yeah.
Neutral, I guess.
Nope, Warforge.
Oh! Oh.
Okay, so as for the...
Now I'm mad.
As for the Warlord itself, yeah, I agree that it's a little bit weird. I like it. It's pretty cool, I think. I kind of like it. But at the same time, I would say, like, my main thing would be that maybe it should not be a Sigillites card, right? It totally makes sense that it's a Sigillites card in terms of flavor, but at the same time, maybe it could be a neutral to be more interesting because, you know, for this more looks like a neutral warlord to me because there's literally no synergy with Sigillite factions. So
yes.
I'd say this is more of a neutral warlord.
And assassins can be neutrals, like, thematically, because they literally were just sent out as lone operatives in the middle of battlefields. I mean, they always can be allied in with anyone. So, yeah. 2 Primarchs in one particular legion. What's that? I don't see that one.
Alpharius and Omegon.
Oh, right. Clever. Yep.
Okay, let's then move on. We got another warlord. Lyra Veyne, Vindicare Assassin, or Lyra. So would that be Lyra or Lyra?
Lyra.
All right, so 230, legendary, Sigillites again. Shad's gonna go crazy again. But she's got one perfect shot. It's another Vindicare, by the way.
This is probably the same idea, isn't it? Okay.
So, gain Duplicitus on your next turn when your warlord does nothing on this turn. And 2 energy, deal 2 damage to an enemy troop. If it dies, place a seal in your deck. Ooh. Initiative high. And 1 perfect shot. Reduce the cost by 2 if your warlord does nothing your turn. Deal 10 damage to the enemy warlord. This is so similar. But I mean, it kind of makes sense because lore-wise, that is what it is, right? Vindicare Assassin is just patiently sitting there. How long was Ethina Callidus on Horus Ship? Like a year or something? I don't remember.
Yeah, there was some incredible joke about that, about how long they waited for it, didn't they? But yeah, no, this is the same attempt at the same concept. And honestly, I mean, the formatting is a lot worse, but I think the mechanics are better. Well, what do you think?
Yeah, that's the thing. Formatting kind of looks ugly, but...
yeah. Oh, yeah, the formatting's ass. I'll do a full breakdown of that in a minute when you're done.
Oh, God. But, I mean, ability is a little more interesting because now it actually has synergy with the faction. And the Duplicitus is a cool idea because, like, if you're playing against something like Angron, for example, you're denying him to bash your face But there are some kind of abusive silver bullet things with that. If you're playing against Argahol, they might as well surrender instantly.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a problem. But otherwise, yeah, kind of interesting, I would say. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I like a lot of the flavor. The Duplicitus is cool, but like you said, it would just completely neuter some decks and do next to nothing against others. So... Maybe I would probably change it to an alternating ability in this case. I'd say, keep the normal ability, and then on the alternate time she gains stealth or duplicitous or precog or whatever it would be. But formatting wise, a lot of spelling errors, a lot of strange choices. The art's cropped badly. You can see a bit of the map behind it. It should be Vindicare Assassin with a double S. It's Assassin right now, whatever, minor thing. There's spaces where there shouldn't be. You don't put space breaks between those because it really cramps the text in, like you can see. That's why it looks so small. One perfect shot is fine. Gain duplicitous on your next turn. That should be worded, gain duplicitous if your warlord has not acted this turn or something like that. Or it could be a resolution effect. Oh, it's gain duplicitous on your next turn. Sorry, okay. That's an interesting one. And then it would be... Oh, that's completely busted because of the bad wording. I assume it's not intended that way, but the duplicitous is permanent the way it's worded. So once you've gained it, you would not lose it again until you act. So that's even more broken versus solo warlords. You just wait for one turn and then you have permanent immunity to being attacked by them. Alright, whatever. The active should be deal 2 damage to an enemy troop. If it dies, shuffle a seal into your deck, and seal should have the actual mechanic symbol next to it. The special, one perfect shot, a game of patience. Game and patience should be capitalized, A should not be. Reduce this cost by 2 if your warlord does nothing. It does not act should be the wording there, not does nothing. Although does nothing is close enough. Deal 10 damage. Damage is not capitalized to the enemy warlord. Warlord is capitalized. But again, minor things. But again, it's a similar attempt, but still a bit flawed. But you could build something around this. It would be a slow, stally deck with some seal interactions. Kind of similar to Malcador, how Malcador plays. But yeah, I don't like how it's legendary and a 230 as well, to be honest. It should probably just be epic 235, same as the regulars.
Jeez, anyway. Shad is here destroying the assassins.
Of course.
Oh my god, Ozzy made a cool one. Kid from Home Alone could have taken out Horus with half the prep time. I agree, by the way.
Oh no, mic feedback on me. Oh.
Whoopsie. Well, how about you just do the Vox Saboteur? Somebody's sabotaging your Vox chat, so let's find
Vox
out who
Saboteur.
it is.
4 energy, 3/3, Agents of the Sigillite, a troop apparently. That should be infantry, but that's probably a Russianism. Callidus Assassin. Rally. Your opponent plays a random tactic from your hand as if it costs 0. The targets for enemy tactics are chosen randomly. I like the idea behind that. That's pretty interesting. But the wording's a bit messy, and I think it's definitely weak because, that can backfire, but oftentimes it will not. So you should factor that in appropriately and accordingly. Also, this should probably be a...
Shad, I think the Vox Saboteur actually got your mic.
Is it really that bad?
No, suddenly it started...
Damn, hang on.
Okay, boys.
Yeah.
I think...
my headset...
Okay, that's better.
Yeah, I stepped on my headset, so I'm pretty certain one of the cables inside is broken. Alright, that's better, is it?
Yep.
Cool. Anyway, sorry, how much of that did I miss? Did people miss from me?
No, you were saying that it could backfire and but most times it would not.
Yeah. Because for example, the plenty of tactics in the game are just buffs, or they just do generic things that don't target. So, for example, if your opponent played Star Wars Defenders with this, there's no way for that to backfire, and a lot of similar effects like that just can't randomly target your opponent. So, I would say make this like a 5/5 maybe, because yes, that rally will sometimes work out in your favor, but you can't rely on that. In fact, it's probably on average going to screw you over a bit. Also, the wording is bad. It should be your opponent plays a random tactic from their hand. You do not need to specify as if it costs 0, because you're just simply saying play a card from their hand. It doesn't. It's obvious that it doesn't have to cost them energy because it's during their turn, your turn rather. But yeah, cool card.
Raziel said, when my opponent forces me to play Planetary Invasion.
Oh, the pain. But yeah, no, I'll tell you what, make it 4/4, give it stealth, and maybe fix the wording of it. realistically, it's still going to be bad, but it's funny. And funny cards are great. Also, it needs to be an infantry, not a troop.
It's actually
yeah.
crazy how the timing was really crazy that Vox Saboteur and your mic gets hijacked. Like,
Yeah,
what?
no, it is strange that.
The timing is impeccable. But yeah, I agree. Kind of unreliable, but definitely fun. I like cards like this.
Right, over to you.
Ooh, cool. Okay, so what is this? Legienstrasse, or how do you even read this?
I don't know. I think that's correct, what you said.
Legienstrasse, something like that. So it's a Mirror's super weapon. I have no idea where this is from. I can't remember.
Oh, this is 40k, actually, so technically this is not valid for a Horus Heresy entry, but we can forgive that if the effect's cool.
That's kind of why I didn't remember it, I guess. So
yeah,
10 energy, 1/1. What the hell is that chest, though? What the fuck?
Hey, she was engineered to be the perfect life form, you know.
I mean, you gotta love how this is the mommy and guys in latex suits tournament. But yeah, basically, 10 energy, 1/1, Agents of Sigilite, Stealth, Battle Honor, gain attack, health, and card effects of the destroyed troop. When in deck or hand, gain +1. When a friendly troop dies, gain +1 health. Oh. So here's what I understand. You have to have this in your hand for it to gain health.
No, in deck.
Oh, because it's both at the same time.
Yes.
This smells like Gwent again. We have a ton of cards like that in Gwent, to be honest, and it's pretty cool. However, I'm not sure how. Well, there is a problem with this. Epistolary. Okay, so the problem with this, I'll tell you what it is. If this was neutral, would be once again better because you would probably play it with cultists or some shit like that. So yeah.
From a flavor perspective, she should be chaos as well because she went rogue immediately. It was their attempt to make a 7th temple, and didn't work out. So yeah, I agree with that.
One moment. Let me just text Epistolary here.
Oh, you got another late entry?
No. He's about Dawn of War stream. So, okay. So, yeah. So, my problem here is, once again, I don't think that it fits the Sigilite deck too much. I would much rather see this cooler if it was in a cultist deck or something like that. Because imagine, like, spamming the cultist, and whenever you play this is actually huge, right? And it's not like something that... it's not something that just... is very random because Agents of the Sigilites don't go wide, they go tall, right? They drop a troop, they buff it. Usually they drop big troops and not
typically.
Yeah, typically that's the case. So that's my problem with this. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's flavorfully it should be chaos, and mechanically it would be much more interesting if you could actually do things with it because it's quite a generic effect. It's an interesting effect, but it is generic. So it's more about how you use it in a deck build than what it actually does on the field that matters. So yeah, I agree. It would be cooler. Also, technically, like we said, it doesn't belong in 30k. They didn't start the Mayroris program until I don't even remember, but it was like several millennia after the Horus Heresy was over. So yeah, cool art though. Yeah. Otherwise, phrasing and wording-wise, I don't actually see any real issues, apart from there's a double space after Battle Honor when it should only be a single, but that's the only thing I can find.
Yeah, I mean, it's an okay card, but I think it needs fine-tuning. Otherwise, Raziel is right. Currently, it's going to be 10 energy, do nothing, so...
Well, it's 10 energy, kill your opponent on the next turn. Let's be real, it's going to be big.
No,
it has stealth.
If it's not like chaos, I mean, if it's chaos or neutral, but... on Sigilites, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I agree. Alright.
Ooh, we got a mission. So, target acquisition, that's yours.
Alright, target acquisition. Mission. Kill enemy troops 4 times with rally abilities. Reward. Marked for censure. It is marked for censure. The enemy warlord gains sentence 3 and relentless. Take 1 damage.
Oh, the art is so cool, though, with the marked for censure.
Let's see. Well, it's flavorful because obviously it fits how the Vindicare do warfare. But well, it's slightly unflavorful as well though because the actual Vindicare assassin in the faction can't trigger it, which is a shame. But yeah.
So
I don't know.
How many rallies do Sigillites get? So you got the
Broad Finger, who is one of the strongest 5 energy troops in the game.
Gear and Tallyman.
Yep. And is that all of them?
I think so.
So you need to land all 4 of those or bring some neutrals.
This is actually interesting. Honestly, let me say a couple of things here. It's pretty interesting because Sigillites don't get a shit ton of rally, which means
you have to rely on neutrals.
Yeah, and you have to work for it because you're not just gonna get it. And in terms of like how easy it is to get, I mean, Sister's Mission, basically. So, yeah.
I'm gonna say the thing again though. I wish it was neutral because the effects are not very Agents of the Sigillite.
I agree, but wouldn't it be OP if it was neutral? Because some factions could just abuse this so hard.
Probably, yeah. But you might have to increase the number of times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one thing I'd say is like increase the number of times it takes many times, but also just maybe make it easier to actually get the triggers. Don't make it be rally abilities specifically. Just say whenever a troop kills an opponent with non-combat damage or something like that.
That could also be interesting.
Yeah, so you can't bash them with it, but if it's like an exemplar effect or relentless or resolution, then all of those count. You know, that might work. Anyway, as for wording though, acquisition should be capitalized. Otherwise, well, the reward should also there's a special icon for the reward. Warlord should be capitalized in marked for censure. And the relentless ability should have quotation marks around it. But otherwise, yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd say this is a pretty cool mission. I didn't expect the mission to be this good, but yeah, this is pretty good. Love it, to be honest. This is really good.
I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, come on, I love it. I'll tell you what my only problem with it is. I love the art for Marked of Censure, but if you read what's on it, it's about Magnus, right? So maybe kind of...
Yeah. Oh, I just spotted that. It's badly cropped at the bottom as well, actually. Yeah.
But the art itself is pretty, so I like it. Okay, Decapitation Strike. 9 energy. You got your Callidus and your Vindicare there. Destroy all enemy troops, or the next troop you put in play gains fast. Ooh. This is pretty interesting.
These effects are very wonky.
I mean, so for 9, you basically got the Great Tide, but without the extra layer. So it's the Conqueror.
It's the Conqueror, yeah.
But it destroys only the enemy troops. That's an interesting one.
Very powerful, that. In fact, probably too powerful. Especially in neutral.
I mean, I like that it gives you a choice, but...
Well, yeah, but the other choice is so bad that you would never ever pick it.
I mean, Galruk, for example.
Alright, yeah, that's the only combo.
I mean, it seems toxic, but I like it. I'm gonna tell you I like it. I like it because
The only combo is I'm going to yeet a giant demon at your face. That doesn't feel very assassin.
That's so good. I mean, haven't you read the lore? when Malcador's squad entered the Vengeful Spirit, they yeeted the Bloodthirster at them. That's how Sidere dies. So it's just...
I genuinely can't tell if you're fucking with me or not because I haven't read that one.
It's just that the Imperial propaganda is fucking with you. Otherwise, oh my god. I'm gonna go ahead and say I like that it gives you a choice between like an AoE clear and something that's like very not connected to it. Might be too strong is my only issue with this one. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. Might be too strong because if it was destroy all troops, it could be better. Enemy troops, I think it might. But then again, if it was all troops, it would not be flavorful because why would your assassins kill your own troops?
Well, in theory, they're just collateral damage. I mean, if there's an Eversor, if there's an Eversor and the Nemesis Execution Force, then there's gonna be some friendly fire, isn't there?
Oh, probably yes. They don't care as long as they get the job done.
Yeah. These effects are just so incredibly wonky because, like, the fast is worthless unless in that specific scenario where you are packing Garlook or what is it, the Eater of Worlds or whatever the legacy version of Garlook was called. Like, those two are the those two are the only reason to ever use the other faction, other mechanic. So it's an incredibly busted board wipe on one side. On the other side, it is a useless effect unless you're using it to be toxic and murder people instantly. So
I love it.
it's a horribly broken design, as in it doesn't function well. So yeah, no. I like the flavor though. The idea of a modal spell like this is very cool, but no, this should be destroy all troops, not enemy troops, and then I don't know. You put a troop from your hand into play. It gains fast. That seems relatively fair for 9 energy, I suppose. Well, you could probably still do some disgusting stuff with that.
Thanks, Ozzy.
Yeah. Do not like.
Okay, then move to Spear.
Right. Spear! Oh, another one. Let's see if it's better than yours. 6 energy, legendary, 4/5 Chaos Infantry Demon. I was thinking that when you were telling me the lore that yours should probably have been infantry/demon. Alright, Fallen Collectus Assassin.
That makes sense, yeah.
Stealth. Terror. Has +1/0 for each damaged enemy. Okay. It's just... For a legendary, it's just like a generic... Like...
It's very
beta.
flavorful, though.
Maybe, but it doesn't feel like a legendary card. It just feels like a combination of stats. It feels like a Night Lord's card. In fact, it basically is. It's just a check, isn't it?
I mean, technically speaking, I like how the author went about the thing. So my way was to do it with missing health. But this one is like every time somebody's damaged, he has more attack, signifying that it has more targets that it can fuck with.
I was going to say, yeah, it's not every time. It's a passive effect. So if a damaged enemy is removed from the field, then its attack goes back down. Yeah. But, it's just kind of... It feels kind of generic for a legendary. It's not complex enough, weirdly. Yeah, but again, Spear feels like something important enough that it deserves to be a legendary.
I mean, he was only in one book, so...
From a balance perspective,
and it got. I mean,
from a balance perspective, it doesn't instantly murder things. It has stealth, which is worse than having flank on an effect like this. So it is balanced, and it's in neutral. I don't think it's so OP that you would just like jam it in every deck. So well made, I guess. Again, it just feels kind of generic for a legendary. That's all. That's the only problem I have.
Maybe my only problem is maybe make it an epic, and that's it. Otherwise, it's good because it's very rare for a terror card not to be toxic, and I think this is actually it. So
yeah, terror and stealth is acceptable. Yeah,
I actually like it. I'd say this is a good card. I like it. I like it.
There's nothing wrong with it, shall we say?
But it's okay.
But there's nothing that's like right with it. It does not spark joy. I said it. All right. Anyway.
Fair enough. Well, let's move on to what the hell is this thing? This is yours, right?
No. Yes.
Yeah.
No. Oh. I'm lost. Did I do the last one?
EXALT 4/4/9er Eversor Assassin. Oh, it's a warlord again. 235 terror berserk. When you create a seal, heal 2 and gain +1 instead. Oh,
that's cool.
That's very cool. And 2 energy, create a copy of EXALT Badge in your hand. And EXALT Badges take 1 damage and gain Bloodthirst this turn. Holy hell. Ooh,
I don't know about that. But that is cool. It's very cool.
I think we should ditch the EXALT Badge, and it's a very cool warlord.
Yes, I agree. I like what it's doing with the seals, but I don't like the fact that it just has a random purple in hand. I don't know if I like if it has terror either, to be honest. But because that feels like it would be too easy to abuse, especially when you get to high
At
attack.
some point, it becomes a gym boss.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is a gym boss, but my point is, right now, it's got an aggro strategy, but if the aggro strategy doesn't pay off, you can just eat your opponent's troops and take no damage. Like, there's no ticking clock. You're not going to run out of health because you're being forced to face bash, because you're getting free hits on troops whenever you feel like it.
Especially with the Bloodthirst, it's toxic.
Yeah, I agree. There is a very cool idea in here, though. Like, I love the idea of replacing the seal effect with this warlord buff instead.
Yeah, that is super.
Yeah.
I love those kind of things, that I wish we had those things in these games, as much so that there's actually a big difference between the
Too hard to
warlords.
code.
Oh my god.
They probably failed to code things like that, didn't they?
I don't know, man, but yeah, maybe it is too much. Please
Right,
look at Gwent for once. Okay, yeah, let's.
Formatting issues. Let's see then. So, it's a 235 and it's a legendary, so the health's wrong. Also, like, it just shouldn't be a legendary. Like, this is a perfect example of a good epic warlord. Just make it an epic. But yeah, the name. I love that you've spelt out the phonetic numbers. That's very cool. But 4-4 should be together since they are one letter. So 449er, and it should Eversor. That should have an R in it. It should be whenever you would create a seal, heal 2 and gain +1 instead, because this way it seems like you're both creating the seal and getting a replacement effect. So it needs to be clear around that. Don't like the active ability, but it's perfectly worded. You know, wording's fine. Although EXALT batch doesn't actually specify what gains Bloodthirst, so you should say deal 1 damage to your warlord and it gains Bloodthirst this turn. That would probably be how I'd word that. But yeah,
you know how I would fix it? Ditch the terror, and the EXALT badge, instead of taking 1 damage and gaining Bloodthirst yourself, maybe it could be to take the 1 damage and gain terror that turn.
Yeah, but then you can't act.
Yeah, but you could create these in your hand, right? And just have them.
Oh, right, to stockpile. Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't feel very flavorful, because, like, why would taking drugs make you more dangerous? More scary. It makes you more dangerous, for sure, but more scary?
Somebody cut this out of context. Why would taking drugs make you more dangerous? That has to be my favorite quote.
Yeah, Hypno, you are correct. Both Orphans of War Legendary Warlords are 35 HP, but the first one is actually 40 HP, because that's Survivor that brings it up. And the second one is a bad design, because EG are phoning it in and don't care anymore. So, both points invalid.
God damn it.
But yeah.
Oh, by the way, this comes with voice lines, and we're going to listen to it at the end. But now we got the Venenum Assassin. Ooh. Finally, your turn, Shad.
Right. Let's see then. Venenum Assassin. Love that art. 4 energy 2/2. Stealth. When an enemy dies from poison, return this troop in your deck and draw a card. Rally. Give poison 0 to an enemy. Increase poison by 1 for each seal in your deck.
Okay, I love this.
Yeah, that's interesting. The problem is, all of this poison synergy, and it has nothing to synergize with, because poison is... they don't ever make neutral poison cards, which is a real shame, actually. But yeah, the actual effect is very interesting. It's stealthy, it poisons things, and hopefully that thing dies, so you can stick it back in your deck and try again. Yeah, it's a cool control tool. I do like it.
Same, I think it's really good. I'm not sure you check out the formatting, but other than that, I love it. It's very interesting. I think this is a proper and interesting control tool. I really like it.
Yeah. Yeah, the enemy dies from poison, return this troop so it should be return this troop to your deck, not in your deck, but otherwise it's pretty well worded. Give poison 0, but obviously that increases for each seal. Yeah, it doesn't feel busted. It feels quite well balanced, because yeah, it's a strong removal tool, but only if you have a shit ton of seals in your deck, honestly. And yeah. I don't know.
You could technically have this on if we ever get what's his face? What do you call that? The Night Lord. The Night Lord Sigillite Warlord. Oh my god.
Felzarost.
Felzarost, yeah. Technically speaking, Felzarost could benefit from this so much, if you think about it, because he generates a ton of seals. Him or Tylus Rubio.
Yeah, but it's I don't know. Realistically, it's just going to be a damage warlord, a damage troop. So it's a funky, weird value slash damage like troop removal effect, which is cool. I like what that facilitates for a Sigilite deck. Honestly, I think it's a little weak though. I think one thing I would do is give it its own poison, maybe like poison 2 or 3 or something. So if you
might be too much, because otherwise you end up giving too much face. It can also target face.
Oh, that is true. You can poison your enemy. Yeah, you can poison enemy warlord.
Maybe
I did not see that.
Poison 1 maximum.
Yeah. No, because that way it can stack up. You can sacrifice it and stack up the poison rather than just trying to loop it further. Also, someone I don't know why, but they've spelled assassin wrong again. That's been a common thing throughout this tourney. But yeah, otherwise the formatting is pretty good. I like it more now that I know it can target face. Actually, it makes it more multifaceted. You can do interesting things with it. Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
right.
Necrodeus assassin. So this is yours?
Nope, yours again. Oh wait, no, it is mine. Necrodeus, 5 energy, 3/4 epic infantry. Necrodeus assassin, spelt wrong again, but yeah, common thing. So whatever. Attacks by itself when you play a troop at its side. Sneak attack. Okay, that's new. That's interesting. I don't know. It doesn't feel like a Vindicare is the thing, and that's clearly meant to be a Vindicare. You know what? This would be a good candidate for an Adamus assassin, and we haven't had one of those this tournament. No one made an Adamus assassin, so yeah. But the effect. It's an interesting one. I don't really know how it fits into Agents of the Sigilite. Because yeah, it's pseudo flank or fast. But again, the stats are so poor that you have to leverage it to actually get value out of it, so it's actually somewhat balanced. I think I quite like this, honestly. It's very strange, but interesting.
Maybe just give it stealth.
You know what? Actually, I feel... stealth isn't a bad idea, to be honest, actually. But one thing I would say, I like the weird effect, but it doesn't feel very sigilite-y, so maybe... You could change it to whenever you play a seal, it attacks by itself, but it's pretty cool. As is. I do like the effect already.
You could do a potential one-shot combo with this, by the way.
Well, no, because there's a limit to how many troops you can play side. You can only ever get two attacks out of it. True. Well, 3 beside if you include its own attack. Otherwise, you have to do some very fancy tricks with, like, murdering your own troops.
Well, I just think that it's never gonna live to do what it does, so maybe stealth would be good.
Well, it doesn't need to live to do what it does. That's the thing. You can drop it and then immediately drop a troop next to it.
So you never play it on curve, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. It will be a combo tool. So essentially, it's 5 energy, deal 6 damage to random troops as a rally, as long as you have enough energy to drop more troops next to it, which is pretty cool. But it does require setup. Yeah,
it's interesting though.
Yeah, it's new design space. I don't think I've seen a card like that before.
Fair
kind of feels more like a Blood Angels or White Scars card is the thing. But yeah.
Maybe once again make it a neutral. Yeah.
Right, I think that's all of them, isn't it? So on to the meme.
Okay, no, first we got the wait a minute.
Oh, the EXALT.
Okay, first let's listen to the voice lines. Okay, guys. 3, 2, 1.
I'm the last thing you'll ever see. They send a cat to eat the mouse. And a dog to eat the cat. Target sighted. I'm going to run you down. Is this what pain is? I will not. No, I cannot rest until every one of you is dead. Bitsy, bitsy, Release me! Release me!
You do not need to understand.
Do I make you feel uncomfortable?
My head itches. Get out.
I am faceless.
Oh, you're going to be faceless, all right.
Care to see who can get more kills, brother?
Only if you're one of them.
Okay, I gotta say, that is very cool. That is so good. Holy fuck. Wow. Wow. I love it. I love it. I don't know, Shad, you like it? I loved it.
Some of the voice lines seemed a little out of character for an Eversor, but the actual quality of the performance was excellent, yeah.
Yeah, man, it's pretty good. I love how it's like a little bit insane as well. Yeah, that was really good. Now for the meme, guys. What is this? Okay. Okay, we can all guess who this one is from, right? This is definitely from Zermal. Oh god, I like it. This is pretty good.
Wake me up inside. Wake me up inside. Yeah.
Fair enough. Oh no, it's my porn folder again. Anyway, so now to decide the winners. By the way, splendid voice acting. Splendid. I like it. I didn't get the meme. So, Igor, basically this was kind of making fun of the anime power scaling thing, but at the same time, Caliban Jaeger's like the basicest of the unit, which everybody's afraid of because of duplicitous, basically. Anyway, Shad, so let me tell you a couple of my suggestions.
Alright.
First of all, I like the Venenum Assassin. I'm gonna defend that. I at least for one spot, I like the Venenum
Yeah.
Assassin.
I can agree.
Yeah, I think it's really good.
Don't know where, but somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I really like the Despair Demon Assassin. Interesting
Yes, I
control
agree.
tool. Very good design on that one. I also like the mission.
Which one?
The target acquisition. Pretty interesting. I do agree that it should be neutral, but definitely pretty interesting idea there with Mark for Censure. Now, I know you don't, but I do like Spear.
I don't dislike it. There's just nothing about it I particularly do like. That's the thing.
I also like Necrodeus Assassin. Pretty cool. Very different and interesting. Warlords,
Yes.
I'll be honest, I don't like any of the Warlords too much.
I like the idea behind EXALT a lot, but it's just, yeah, there are a lot of issues with it as well.
I mean,
But,
it's
like-
the Eversor Assassin is extremely cool design, but it has problems. But there's
Yeah.
such an awesome idea hiding behind this.
Yes.
I think Vox Saboteur is also cool.
Yeah, but a bit wonky,
I'm
isn't
just
it?
saying it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead, and I'm just gonna say that for me, the number one is definitely Despair. I'll say why. Because, the only quarrel I have with this is the issue with formatting, obviously, but, I mean, as we said, we do know that there is a language barrier, so, and you can notice sometimes when it's a language barrier thing. Otherwise, this is such a cool control tool. This is very interesting. I like this for 1 or 2. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I mean, maybe it gets edged out of first place, but I can't really see anything that makes me go, yes, that takes top spot. The Despair is definitely the closest. It's just a solid piece. I think I agree with that. I mostly agree with your picks. I kind of like Eversor Stimulants, but it's also kind of, it wouldn't do much besides enable, like, gym boss combos. I like Necrodeus, but it doesn't feel like an Agents of the Sigilite card very much, or especially Assassin-y in some ways. I like Venenum Assassin, but it has issues. Like it needs a second pass for balance and mechanics, I reckon. And I like Exalt 449, even though like a lot of it is kind of messy and needs work. But the core concept, like you said, is so good. I think maybe Exalt for third place. And then we can argue over who gets second.
Which one is the Exalted?
Exalt is the warlord, the Eversor warlord.
I mean, honestly, we could put this at 3 because the idea is just so good, but technically it's very abusive is my problem currently. But
yeah.
Also, the voice acting is top notch, but we can't include that in the decision making.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, do we agree that Despair is first place?
Yeah, I think we do.
Then let's discuss the second place.
I honestly think it's Venenum, for me at least, because Necrodeus, it just doesn't feel very assassin-y, it doesn't feel very Agents of the Sigilite, and the arts, I mean, maybe if it was an Eversor assassin, I would have more sympathy towards it, but it definitely doesn't feel like a Vindicare sniper, which is what the art represents.
I do agree with Venenum. I think it's one of the best ones. But what I want to say is, how about we put the third place up to the people?
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
Here's my picks for third place. So, as you said, let's build Exalt.
Yep. Spear, I assume, and Necrodeus.
Absolutely, the Spear. I also got one more. So Spear is definitely there. Necrodeus. And I also want to put in Target Acquisition.
Okay.
I like it. Kill me
by all means.
I like it.
Who knows? Maybe the people will disagree with me, but yeah, no, I do not care for it.
I like it. I can't deny that I kind of like it. Okay. Let's see what's gonna happen here. Ooh, Spear's getting a lot of votes.
Okay. I mean, it is perfectly formatted. There are literally zero flaws with it, other than the fact that I think it's boring.
I mean, it may be boring, but it's like the perfect card.
But it just legendary shouldn't be boring. That's the only thing I have. Like,
Necrodeus is losing currently, so it's gonna be Spear, Exalt. Okay, now Exalt is winning. Ooh, I think Spear and Target Acquisition are equal, by the way, and votes. Ooh, okay, guys, wait for a couple of more votes. Come on, guys, just vote.
oh, Razio, you're correct. Exalt is busted. We are essentially giving it points for a very cool idea, but it needs a lot of work. But then that's what third place is for, really.
I mean, guys, my personal pick is Spear, but since you also pick like Exalt and dislike Spear, I'm gonna put up like Exalt and Target Assassin there as well. But personally, for me, Spear is the number one. I would say in this.
I value an interesting but poorly executed idea over like a perfectly executed boring idea. Basically, that's just where I personally would. I mean, if it was in the game, actually put into the game, I would much rather that Spear was put in than Exalt, because Exalt would suck to play against. But it's from an idea perspective, Exalt has more potential.
The only quarrel I have with Spear, and my card was also Spear, by the way, is that it's like the lore is friggin' retarded. Like, I don't know, guys, shoot me if you want for this, but it's almost as stupid as Grey Knight smearing Sisters of Battle Blood on them. Like,
putting a demon in a Calexis, it's pretty stupid.
And it's supposed to be like even the strongest Calexis. Like, how do you do that? Oh, because Erebus. Oh, fuck. I don't know. For me, the lore is retarded, but the concept is cool. I like that, extremely powerful assassin thing, but holy shit. Like, it's terrible. I listen to extremely random. Okay, I think nobody else is voting, so I guess we end the vote.
Seems like Hypno put it the best, I think. No, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Oh god, no one liked Necrodeus. Oof, brutal.
Yeah, Target Acquisition was also doing pretty well. I like it, yeah. I honestly, I like all three. It's hard to choose. Mine was probably, I would even say like Spear, Target, and Exalt for me, but I can understand why people like it. Dividing 0 in the world that tells you can't divide by 0. Pretty much epistolary on point. Gentlemen, first of all, thank you very much for participating. These were some awesome submissions. We will not do an assassin-themed one for the next time because you guys kind of told me you had enough of assassins, so we'll think of something else. By
really?
the way,
Okay.
yep. After we sign off, I'm gonna take like a couple of minutes of break, and then we go into the game chat hates. We're gonna be smashing ladder with Ursula Creed, Creed. Another very necessary character. So we're going
Who somehow has more chins than her father, which I don't understand.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah. Anyway, so thank you for watching, guys. And I'll be seeing you soon on the Warforged stream. So cheers.
See you around.